Hello everyone, welcome to course study on solid mechanics. In today's lecture, again we will discuss the numerical which is based on overhanging beam. The statement of the numerical is as follows. A beam carries a load shown in figure. Draw SFD and BMD. Now, as shown in the figure, we have an overhanging beam which has support at A and support at B, and there is a extended part of the beam beyond point B. Therefore, it is known as an overhanging beam. That particular beam is subjected to a UDL of 1 kN per meter on the span of AE, and that span is 10 meter. It is also subjected to a point load of 2 kN at point D and at point C. So for such a beam, we are going to draw SFD and BMD. So our first step is to find out the support reaction by using condition of equilibrium. So the first equilibrium condition is summation of f of x equal to 0. But as there is no horizontal force acting over the system, summation of f of x will be 0. Next equilibrium condition is summation of f of y is equal to 0. So it is the sum of all the vertical forces which are acting onto the system. So we have reaction at A, that is RA, which is acting in upward direction, therefore positive. Next we have UDL up to point A to E, and that UDL is 1 kN per meter. So UDL we have to convert into point load. So after converting into point load, we have minus 1 into 10 because it is acting in downward direction. Similarly, minus 2 kN and minus 2 kN both are acting in downward direction, and plus RB, that is reaction at B, so it is acting in upward direction, and the sum of it is equal to 0. After solving it, we have RA plus RB, which is equal to 14 kN. This is the equation number 1. Now we have third equilibrium equation, moment at A is equal to 0. That is summation of moment at A equal to 0. So we have 1 into 10 into 5. So 1 into 10 is nothing but UDL has to convert into point load, and that point load, it will act at a distance of half of the span, therefore it is 5, plus 2 into 15, because for the 2 kN the perpendicular distance is 15 meter, and it will produce a clockwise moment about point A, therefore will be positive. Similarly, plus 2 into 20, this 2 kN load will act at a perpendicular distance of 20 meter, therefore it is 2 into 20, minus this RB will act in anti-clockwise direction, therefore minus RB, and the perpendicular distance is 15, so minus RB into 15, which is equal to 0. So it's a summation of all the moment about point A, which is equal to 0. On solving this equation, we have RB is equal to 8 kN, and after putting RB into equation 1, I have RA is equal to 6 kN. So by using equilibrium conditions, we have determined the reactions RA and RB, that is 6 kN and 8 kN respectively. Our next step is shear force calculation. For the given loading system, we have to calculate the value of shear forces. Therefore, shear force at left of A is equal to 0. Now it is already discussed in various lectures also. Shear force at right of A is equal to 8 kN because it's a reaction acting in upward direction. Similarly, shear force at E is equal to 8 minus 10, which is equal to minus 2 kN, because reaction which is acting in upward direction, minus UDL has to convert into point load, therefore minus 10, which is equal to minus 2 kN. At E, it's a major point, so we are not going to calculate left of E and right of E. Similarly, shear force at left of D is equal to minus 2 kN. Because no load is acting from E to D, therefore the value of shear force will remain constant. shear force at right of D is equal to, oh, this is not minus 10, it is minus 2. By mistake this happened. This is not minus 10, it is minus 2, and it is equal to minus 4 kilonewton. This is not minus 10, it is minus 2. So minus 2, it will become minus 4 kilonewton. So the value of shear force right of D will be minus 4 kilonewton. As there is no load acting from D to B again, so the value of shear force left of B will be minus 4 kilonewton. Similarly, shear force at right of B will be minus 4 plus reaction which is acting in upward direction, therefore plus 6. So minus 4 plus 6 will be 2 kilonewton. Similarly, shear force at left of C is 2 kilonewton, and as usual shear force at right of C, it is right of C, it is not visible, but you consider it as a right of C. So shear force at right of C, which is a end support, which is 0, 1. So this is the value of shear forces for a given overhanging beam. Now from those values we are going to draw the shear force diagram. At A we have 0 value, therefore it's a 0 line. We'll start from the 0 value. On the same point we have 8 kilonewton acting in upward direction, therefore 8 kilonewton will go up. From A to E we have a UDL, so in between this UDL we have to join it by an inclined line, therefore we have an inclined line. And at E we have 2 kilonewton, so this is the value of 2 kilonewton. Again from E to D we have no load, therefore will remain as it is, minus 2 kilonewton. On right of D we have minus 4 kilonewton, so it will go down, minus 4 kilonewton. Again from D to B no load is acting over there, therefore minus 4 kilonewton. On the same point of B we have 2 kilonewton which is positive one, so it will go up, which is above the 0 line. At left of C again no load is acting, so it will remain constant. And again right of C, that is at the end, we have shear force equal to 0. So in this manner we have drawn the value, we have drawn the shear force diagram from the given shear force values. And on observing the shear force diagram, again we have shear force equal to 0 at point P. By similarity of triangle we have x is equal to 8 meter, that is at a distance of 8 meter from support A we have shear force equal to 0. And as shear force is 0 at point P, we will have maximum bending moment. Our next step is bending moment calculation. If you observe, again at point A and C we have a support, so at the support bending moment will be 0. So bending moment at A and C is 0. Now we are going to find out the value of bending moment at point E, it's a major point. At point D where the shear force is acting, at point B, and at point P where shear force is 0. Therefore first point is moment at E, summation of moment at E equal to 0. So 8 into 10 is nothing but it's a shear force into perpendicular distance, will produce the sagging moment, therefore will be positive. Minus 1 into 10 into 5 means a UDL has to convert into point load, and the distance of point load is 5, half of the span. So it will produce the hogging moment, therefore will be negative. On solving it we have 30 kilonewton meter, that is the moment at E is 30 kilonewton meter. Now we have moment at P equal to 0, summation of moment at P equal to 0, and at that point we will get the maximum value of bending moment because shear force is 0 at that point. Therefore we have 8 into 8. Why 8 into 8? Because the reaction is 8 and at point P, that is x distance is 8 meter. Therefore reaction into perpendicular distance is 8. So 8 into 8 minus 1 into 8 into 4. UDL will act over the span of 8 meter only. Therefore minus 1 into 8 into 4, which is equal to 32 kilonewton meter. So we have maximum bending moment at point P because at that point shear force is 0. We are going to calculate bending moment at point D in the same manner just like a point P and E. Therefore 8 into 15, that is reaction into perpendicular distance is 15, minus 1 into 10, and it will act at a distance of half of the span, plus this distance is 5 meter. So after solving it, we have 20 kilonewton meter the bending moment at point D. Similarly, bending moment at point B is equal to 0. Summation of bending moment at point B equal to 0. So we have minus 2 into 5 because from C to B it is easy to calculate the bending moment, and as we have considered the right hand side for the point B, therefore for the hugging bending moment we have a negative sign. Therefore it is minus 2 into 5, which is equal to minus 10 kilonewton meter. From the calculated value of bending moment, we are going to draw bending moment diagram. Remember that between point A to E, a UDL is acting, so you will observe a parabolic curve of second degree. Therefore, from point A to E, we have a parabolic curve, and for that particular parabolic curve, we have maximum value at point P, that is 32 kilonewton meter. Now, beyond point E to D, we have a shear force, therefore it will be joined by a straight line. Again from D to B, again we have a straight line. B to C, we will join it by a straight line. So in this manner we have drawn the bending moment diagram. But if you observe carefully, bending moment is 0 at this point. So this point is known as point of contraflexure. Again, by using similarity of triangle, we are going to determine that distance where bending moment is 0. So in this manner, we have drawn a shear force diagram for and bending moment diagram for the overhanging beam. So in the next lecture, again we will discuss the concept of cantilever beam. So we will stop here. Thank you.